Right, hello everyone, Ian here, how you doing today? Today we are back, of course, going to be reacting to some more videos. I was going to say live streams for some reason then. We're going to be reacting to some more live streams. We've seen that, I know we've seen this, but I'm pretty sure we've not seen this one. Yeah, we definitely haven't. Whatever that goopy thing was there, whatever the hell that was, till I find out it's, so let's watch it.
Some giant creatures are all over the internet, while others are less frequently seen, but we simply don't know where they will strike next. Number 12. A family rows down the Amazon River when they get carried by a current a little too close to shore. One of them pushes off with their oar and chances upon a giant monster waiting for them in the shallow water. A huge anaconda that is probably well over 20 feet long rushes past them from its submerged hiding spot. The giant bulge in its belly indicates that the snake has eaten recently and is in no condition to defend itself, so getting away is its best option. The boat pursues the overgrown reptile, and one of them even grabs it by its tail to drag it out into the open. I don't know what they plan to do with it. Maybe the bulge in its stomach is another local, and they are getting revenge. Number 11. This mysterious blob recently oozed its way onto the shores of Acapulco, Mexico. It has no smell and therefore is not a floating piece of sea garbage. As curious officials poked and prodded this formation, they were surprised to feel a full skeletal system underneath. The floppy, deflated area in particular looks like it could have been the head. The many holes were probably numerous eyes that have since been picked clean by hungry fish. Researchers are clueless as to what this could possibly be, but if you think you know something they don't, then I welcome your best guess. Hungry fish.
This bit here kind of looked like an octopus head. So to me, I'm guessing this might have been an octopus, but still either way, this looks bleh.
Researchers are clueless as to what this could possibly be, but if you think you know something they don't, then I welcome your best guess. Judging from its huge size, I'm guessing this creature had very little predators and could have eaten practically anything it wanted. Number 10. This underwater video was shot aboard the EV Nautilus, a famous research vessel owned by the same person who found the sunken Titanic. Little does the crew know they are moments away from yet another mystifying discovery, this time in the Gulf Coast of Mexico. Off in the distance, they spy a giant creature coming at them fast. You can hear both surprise and fear in their voice as they order the captain to retreat.
What?
Or it could be fishing line. You don't want that.
Back up.
Huge siphonophore.
It could be.
Yeah.
What looks like a long floating rope of intestine is actually a creature known only as a siphonophore. I'm not sure if it is being carried by the currents or moving on its own, but at one point it does come close to the team and almost seems to demonstrate a limited degree of curiosity as it hovers nearby. If you think this particular specimen is large, they can actually grow to be hundreds of feet long. Siphonophores are carnivores, but thankfully for us humans, this one seems to prefer the bottom of the ocean floor, far away from where we tend to swim. Number 9. A Russian YouTuber named Diamond Operator rides his bike past a giant creature that is easily twice the size of a person. The creature uses its many legs to easily close the distance between itself and Diamond Operator.
Jesus Christ.
When it gets within spitting range, it unleashes some sort of sludge all over his rear camera. Look past the slime and you'll see a European cop car chase it away at the last moment before it's too late. Hopefully the police were able to sort the situation out, whatever it was, and for the future of the human race, I hope there aren't more of them out there lying in wait.
But you never know, that could have been an animatronic. I think that's a robot of some sort, to be completely honest with you.
Number 8. This video, taken in Jacksonville, Florida, and posted to YouTube by the Jacksonville Zoo, momentarily shows a gigantic dinosaur-looking creature with an impossibly long neck that stretches up to meet the roof of a nearby building. You only get to see the creature for a split second before they take off and keep running, which seems like a realistic response to me. However, since the creature does not move at all, it could be a statue or CGI. Also, the beginning of the video shows them just kind of standing around, and I really doubt something of that size could sneak up so close without anyone noticing. Number 7. Everyone knows about the ostrich, but few people know about the wild cassowary, another 100-pound bird that can do you in with a razor-sharp inside talon. First of all, check out this vicious low kick. This would have no problem slicing you or me wide open, and the hissing scream it makes is unlike any other bird.
I'll run at you and I'll just keep kicking. Get her in the air and he'll go for your throat, your stomach or your groin.
And that's just a kick standing still. When one of these giant birds is running at you at top speed, they can deliver a flying talon straight to your jugular. They are highly aggressive and will almost always defend their territory to the very end. Number 6. Nobody is sure what the US forces are doing in this 2014 video taken from an undisclosed location somewhere in New Mexico apparently. Soldiers kneel down as a blast rips through the air. It looks like it hits nothing at all, but then the edges of the ripple inward to reveal what could be the outline of a giant round invisible creature. Some people are claiming this is simply a drill using new technology we don't know about. Others say that this is not an exercise at all, but rather a real desert battle with a creature. Listen to the noise it makes and tell me if you think this is the sound of a passing fighter jet or the terrifying roar of a real monster.
Dash 3 good hits.
Number 5. On this night in Florida, a YouTuber named Deer Meat for Dinner is after a different type of wild game than his name would suggest, something much more dangerous. You'll have to go to his channel to see exactly how
Hold on, before we continue, I am going to go and have the toilet. I keep constantly drinking water and it keeps constantly making me go to the toilet like every bloody 10 minutes or whatever. I don't know, but I'm gonna go. Did ya? No! What are you doing? Lay down. Lay down. It's alright.
Where are you?
I'm wondering what's going on.
They managed to land this giant creature because it's a battle that unfortunately I can't show here, but the end result is just as terrifying as the battle itself. 4 grown men struggle to pull a gator aboard, whose jaws are easily as broad as their shoulders.
Really?
Every square inch is a battle that brings the boat closer to its tipping point. They have to take numerous breaks, and for a while it looks like they might lose their grip and let their catch sink to the bottom. The entire time I'm waiting for the gator to snap back to life. As they roll it onto the boat, Deer Meat for Dinner orders everyone away from the tail that could easily snap a leg.
There's all kind of lines in there.
When they get back, the team needs an actual heavy-duty crane to lift the giant beast up and get a final measurement. It's 13 feet and 2 inches long and weighs 1,127 pounds, a new Florida record. I feel like you can really gain a better idea of its size from this angle. The YouTuber is a pretty tall guy, and this thing's tail alone comes up all the way to his head. Number 4. Barrett rods is spending the day kayak fishing when a terrifying creature suddenly takes flight above water. At first it just sits on the surface and then it makes its move. The bizarre creature is larger than Barrett's arm. It has a snake-like body, a large hole for a mouth, and 2 elongated fins that look very sharp to the touch. At 8 seconds into the video, Barrett raises his hands in surprise, but I doubt it would have been enough to protect him. Fortunately, the animal changes its trajectory at the last second and silently sinks back into the water. I guess it must have bitten through the fishing line. Number 3. This next entry has appeared in many different giant creature videos, and I just wanted to lay the rumors to rest while also properly crediting the original source. This sighting of a giant creature in Vancouver belongs to a talented YouTuber named Hollywood Scotty, who is known for professional special effects. Obviously, the chances of a special effects designer happening upon a giant monster in real life are very slim. Still, this video has fooled many people since 2017 and is definitely a testament to his skills. Be sure to check out his other videos. You may find a few other famous sightings that you thought were real too. Number 2. This giant flat creature is actually a beached oarfish laying on its side. A confirmed bystander pushes it back into the water with her paddle, which could be a mistake because it proceeds to head directly for the person holding the camera.
Oh my god.
Although it seems more concerned with getting away than taking a bite, this is still not an animal that I would want to have anywhere near me, especially in such shallow waters. It almost seems to make eye contact as it passes directly under her feet before straightening out and swimming away. I've got a challenge for you. Since you've made it this far, why not like this video and hit those at Dilber1. These friends are playing in the woods when something out of place catches their eye and gives them pause. Completely filling the wide gap between 2 nearby trees is a tall dark figure that may or may not be wearing a business suit. If this is a humanoid creature, then it must be huge because it is about half as tall as the tree itself. At first I didn't think this was really much of a sighting at all because it could have been a rock or pretty much anything else, but when they see it again in another location about 2 minutes later, it looks much more clear and defined. A man with no face in a full suit stares at them from afar. This could be a friend covering up their face, but they are kids, and whatever this is looks to be taller than even a full-grown adult. According to the uploader, when they went back to review the video, the audio was somehow corrupted and unplayable, which further correlates with the legend of Slender Man.
Am I too quiet or too loud?
This could be a friend covering up their face, but they are kids, and whatever this is looks to be taller than even a full-grown adult. According to the uploader, when they went back to review the video, the audio was somehow corrupted and unplayable, which further
That sounded alright to me. Right then, let's... What did we look at? We looked at that one. Seen that one already. This one here.
I really think this top 5 list is scary enough to stop you from finishing. Let's see if you can prove me wrong. Number 5.
Finishing what? The video?
In 2010, a man from South Jersey named Nick mysteriously went missing. His older brother Mark vanished shortly thereafter. Their small town was devastated by these back-to-back disappearances and feared the worst. There wasn't a shred of evidence for police to go off of, at least not until a few months later when one of Nick's high school acquaintances receives this mysterious post office package. Inside the package are memory cards and hard drives with hundreds of videos to analyze. Eerily enough, the return address was Nick's house, so either Nick sent this himself or someone else mailed it on his behalf well after his disappearance. Perhaps it was sent by whoever was responsible. A lot of the videos are typical teenage vlogging material you'd expect from 2010. Basic stuff like making a sandwich or watching TV. But on the other hand, there are at least 30 videos containing super creepy information relevant to his whereabouts, or should I say his possible remains. Let's retrace Nick's steps. On September 3rd, 2010, Nick goes to the notoriously haunted Pleasant Mill Cemetery in Batstow, Jersey to see what he can find. On the other side of an old bridge in the woods, he sees some 1800 burial markers and an old church that makes him feel creeped out. Though whatever he thinks he sees while standing on this bridge is what freaks him out the most. This is where voices are said to sometimes be heard on the water. Tell me if you see anything. I honestly can't say I see anything strange, but maybe something was there that didn't show up on camera. The video ends with him running back to his car looking very serious and scared, wide eyes and all, so he probably really did see something strange. He never wants to go back there again, but at sometimes the experience eats away at him until a week later on September 10th, when he goes back to settle his curiosity once and for all, this time with his friend Austin. Night has fallen by the time they arrive. There's not much activity by the old church, so they walk over to the river. They don't hear anything and aren't really that scared, so they challenge each other to sit in the darkness under the bridge. The very same bridge where Nick first saw something, mind you. And as soon as their lights go out, they make contact.
Do you hear that?
When they turn their lights on to see what's out there, they see this broad goblin-like face looking back at them, soon followed by a splash of water, like something jumping at them, or else reaching up from the depths below. Away they run and away it follows. I don't know what this thing is, but since they've disturbed its home twice now, it decides to return the favor. What you're about to witness happened on the very same night. Nick sees movement behind this curtain wall and thinks it has to be his older brother Mark. It certainly looks like someone's hands, and yet no one's there. Suddenly it grows very cold where he's standing, cold enough to see his own breath, which is odd considering it isn't cold enough to see his breath when he's outside looking for Mark.
Oh.
They really should have stopped going there, but on September 18th they try again. This time, after following these strange lights in the woods, they discover something they were never meant to have. This nondescript book has no title, but I want to know more about this strange binding. It looks like part of a protective ritual, or maybe even a curse upon whoever opens it without permission. Nick grabs it and they go get something to eat, and that's subsequently when they start getting followed even worse than ever before. By now, Nick and Austin have developed somewhat of an unhealthy obsession with the Pleasant Mill Cemetery. It scares them, but it also attracts them and they can't stop going. Maybe something there is enticing them to return. something that wants its book back. And the more times they visit, the stronger its presence becomes at home.
What? Tired of this. Wait. What the?
When you look at the picture before it falls at 10 minutes and 28 seconds, I think it's a picture of Mark, the older brother who would soon disappear. On September 27th, Nick and Austin make a discovery that they seem to shrug off but I think is important. It's inside of an old house that they find not too far from the cemetery. The outside looks like it went ablaze a long time ago. Through a square hole in the floor, they spy an area that looks like it could have been a secret chamber when covered. They get a really bad feeling and don't want to go down, but Austin makes a simple observation that I think speaks volumes.
Oh, it smells. Alright, we're wasting time. We gotta go.
It could be mold, or it could be a body that hasn't been disturbed in quite some time. Things get really crazy after they discover the possible body. By November 2nd, Mark is gone and nobody knows where he went. Nick goes back to the cemetery to look for his brother, and this final recording is what he finds. A tall figure with an all-white face marches toward him, with a long tool in his hand. All I will say is that it looks like Nick sadly met the same fate as his brother. Number 4. If you've been watching Scary Countdowns for a while, then you've probably come across this video at some point. What other channels don't bother to tell you is that there's an additional 2 months worth of evidence to analyze. But first, let me start with this viral video of their fateful first encounter. On May 3rd, 2011, a strange man who they've never seen before randomly stands outside of the apartment of a YouTuber named Andrew J. Neese. Andrew and his girlfriend do what most people would do and dial for help. Here's the original phone call with the authorities. Tell me if you think it's real.
And he's just like looking up at the window. He's been there for about 30 minutes now. Yeah, male.
I've seen this before.
Maybe about, I don't know, maybe about 30, I guess. I can't tell.
There's never an actual voice on the other end, which makes me suspect it could be staged, and I thought 911 operators were trained to stay on the line until police come. That's not what happens here.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, that's where most channels leave off, but this is actually just the beginning. What most people don't know is that there's another 911 phone call made by his girlfriend the very next night on May 4th to anyone who has ever worked in emergency response. Tell me if this second phone call sounds legit, or if they're just pretending to talk to someone.
I'd really like you to do something about it. Yeah, my boyfriend already made a report. We're at there's a parking lot behind our house. Yeah, 6:50. Okay. Thanks.
Another night passes, and the figure returns, silent and wide-eyed as ever. Andrew gets upset enough to say something this time, and look what happens to the camera when he does.
Hey. Hey.
I don't know what's going on.
A red flash occurs at 58 seconds, a brief electronic disturbance possibly induced by an intensive wave of emotions.
Or he could have edited that bit in himself.
Perhaps a telekinetic reaction to getting yelled at. I only say this because the exact same curious red flash happened 6 days later on May 12th, except this time, their stalker is not even there. They simply sense him and then the flash appears.
He's not even there!
Alright.
And by June 17th, it's gotten to the point where Andrew's motion sensor camera keeps zooming in on a figure that simply isn't there. The equipment is having trouble focusing. In other words, on the very same spot where their not-so-secret admirer had stood for over a month straight. So is Andrew manually making it go out of focus, or is there an invisible phantom figure really standing there like he says? But I'm getting way ahead of myself by mentioning the events of June. That's a particularly bad month for them. And we still aren't done talking about May 8th to be exact, when they first started to suspect the perpetrator could be supernatural.
Hey, look, he's throwing the window.
His arms are at his sides, and yet something pings off the window.
I don't even see him throwing anything.
Oh my god, but how is he doing that?
And sure enough, there's another odd flash at 1 minute and 6 seconds, like something's feeding off the peak of their fear, growing stronger. No longer is the watcher satisfied with leering at them from the corner. He now wants inside. A full month of harassment accumulates in scraps of paper, all saying the same word, hello. Apparently, this is some form of psychotic social interaction for whoever's doing this. A creepy game they are just beginning to play. Time only makes the man grow bolder. By June 20th, the tapping is all over their windows. It's the sound of someone's finger against glass, and yet there's no silhouette to be seen. Either they are behind the couch tapping, or they're somehow making this noise from the alley outside. Left on the window is a picture of this creepy smiling face with X'd out eyes. Only someone who's really into the idea of tormenting two totally innocent people would bother drawing this, let alone deliver it in person. Little does Andrew or his girlfriend know they are less than 1 day from seeing him up close for themselves. On June 22nd, there's more tapping, which is not even that unusual by this point. And so Andrew's girlfriend goes to the window thinking that no one is there. She throws open the blinds, still recording for evidence, and waiting for her is the watcher himself, closer than he has ever been before. It's hard to see, but at 47 seconds he's holding an illustration of the same grisly face as before, X'd out eyes, this time with a message that says hello in the same handwriting as the scrap notes left by their door. I doubt he just wants to only say hello for much longer. Soon he will probably be saying goodbye to them, probably moments before he ends their lives. So if he's standing outside of the house in May, and outside of their window by June, then he will probably be standing somewhere inside their house by July. Thankfully they managed to move out before my theory gets put to the test. Now in a different location with iron bars, they finally feel safe for the first time in months, but their hopes of a peaceful life are shattered by the 1st of July when a familiar figure slides in. Something's off about this extra blurry entrance. He doesn't walk into frame so much as simply materializes, and come to think of it, I've never actually seen him move before. Then when it's time to leave, he vanishes, leaving only a faint trace as he walks. It could be the camera, or it could be editing, or it could be an actual ghost, in which case this may have been the last video, but I doubt it was their final encounter. Number 3. Annie Bennett and her boyfriend move into this old farmhouse 2.5 years ago, and have been experiencing faces
What was the name of their channel? Andrew what? Andrew J Neis. Give me a minute. Ow. Come on. Ah, here it is. Oh, it's the exact same channel. What the hell? Okay. Dick Tracy. Who the hell's Dick Tracy? And these are videos that, you know, that they uploaded, maybe? Or the killer? Maybe killer? Possibly a killer? Oh. It's 2011, so okay. Watch trailer 2011. This isn't. Ah.
I have no idea.
So it's a trailer. Okay. Season 1? This is a legit proper thing? Oh my god. Okay, so this is just like what do you call it then? This is like a sorry about that. Okay, so this is like some sort of movie thing by the looks of it. Ah, okay, let's read what it says here. What was it? Audio cuts out. Okay. Well, it says trailer watcher, and it says trailer, but is it really a trailer, or is it really something else?
He walks. It could be the camera, or it could be editing, or it could be an actual finally move into this old farmhouse 2.5 years ago, and have been experiencing a lot of strange happenings ever since, particularly in this blue dining room. The instruments tend to play by themselves over the years, but for some reason this piano has been getting all of the attention lately, so it's where they decide to set up the camera. Hardly anything at all happens in part 1, which is 10 minutes long and slow enough to elicit some angry comments from people too impatient to get all the way through, but then there's some good moments that I want to point out, like how at 4 minutes and 17 seconds there's a strange light on the wall for absolutely no reason.
Before he continues, I need the toilet again. Bloody hell, so it's like every 25 minutes like that I'm going to the toilet. Going right through me.
It doesn't look like a laser pointer and it never happens again. Then the clock strikes 2:19 a.m. and mysteriously pops open. I see no string and no other way for them to have done this, but maybe you do. I suppose now is a more appropriate time to share more about the history of this farmhouse. There used to be an old woman who lived here all by herself. They say at 2:19 in the morning was the exact moment when she is said to have passed on. She was said to have been musically gifted. At 2:19 is also where the Spencer piano seemingly plays by itself. So this high note is conveniently coming from a key that's not even on camera. Obviously Annie or her boyfriend have to be sitting off to the side, or at least that's what I thought until I saw this next part. Okay, so that's not supposed to happen. I'm thinking that maybe the piano wires are worn out and old, which can sometimes cause a note to play by itself, but I don't think that's why, because nothing like this happened for a full 10 minutes prior. This tray and clock move at the same time. One of them could have pulled the tray by the corner that's off camera, sure, but the way the clocks open is something I can't explain. And as the night wears on, the spirit becomes stronger, able to play more. Please tell me this piano is one of the old-fashioned types that can play by itself. Otherwise, I have absolutely no idea how this is possible. And even if it can play by itself, I've never seen a piano that can do what it does at 5 minutes and 49 seconds. Self-playing? Maybe. Self-shutting? No way. I guess Annie could have slammed the lid shut while off camera, but after this reflection fades away like someone is sitting down, I can safely say I've officially run out of rational explanations and can only assume this to be paranormal. And I don't care if someone is sitting off camera or not, there's no way for them to play a piano with the lid on. I can't even explain half of these paranormal occurrences, so I have to conclude that this farmhouse is almost definitely haunted by someone who refuses to accept that they've passed on. Number 2. October of 2017 is when a Canadian YouTuber named Moosey started to experience supernatural problems in his home that were far from normal. Things like spirit sightings and hearing voices. Something is in his house with him, something he can't see and want.
Hold on, there's an MK. There's an MK post. It's just popped up on my end. Hold on a minute. Me and my friend got Dadbot on her server. Oh god. Nice to meet you, Dad. I am. Hi, I'm Dad. No. I am dying. Hi, I am dying. I'm Dad. Oh god. I just felt like I had to say that.
Once gone, one afternoon Moosey is playing a PS4 game with his brother when the television starts acting up in a way that's been happening far too often lately.
And it's really weird, like, he's been telling me it's been happening all day.
Somebody could have simply turned it off with a remote. His brother Joe isn't holding the remote, but maybe Moosey is. I don't think it was either one of them though, because it looks like somebody unplugged the television, even though they were both across the room.
Guys, what the f? This is what I'm saying. Disconnected again. What's going on?
And when you look again at 4 minutes and 23 seconds, you might be able to see the faintest orb go by his wrist. Since this was made in October, I was thinking maybe this was a Halloween video or something like that, but Moosey's paranormal problems continued well into November. That's when it moved into his room. He claims he can no longer sleep because it feels as if something is watching over him.
Guys, I don't know what's going on. There's just something preventing me.
At 1 minute and 30 seconds, there are bags under his eyes that were not visible in the previous video from a week ago, so I see no reason not to believe what he says.
I was tired, I said, yeah, you can see bags under my eyes because I get really tired of my house.
After days of no sleep, he now has a plan to cleanse the room. Moosey blends a special root with various household ingredients to make a powdery substance that is believed to keep spirits away. Interestingly enough, the sound on his camera cuts out and this orb appears just outside of his room, so perhaps there is some value in what he's about to do after all. I think it's interesting how the sound cuts off again here, almost like the spirits don't want to hear him finish what he has to say.
Demons, be gone.
Or it could have just been a technical problem uploading the video to YouTube. Anyway, after completing the exorcism, he waits until 3 a.m. before declaring everything is okay. He didn't wait long enough though. This is what happens 5 minutes after 3 a.m.
Free me from all this. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Did you guys hear that?
I really wish he would have thrown open the door here, so we could have seen for ourselves what was on the other side. The fact that he waits for almost a full minute makes me wonder if this really was his nerves betraying him, or just stalling to give his friends time to get off camera. Nothing is in the other room, but if he wanted to prove beyond a doubt that his house was haunted, he should have swallowed his fear and opened the door a bit sooner. Easier said than done, I guess. Moosey did eventually move 2 years later. He and Hype Mike are giving a tour of their new house when it becomes apparent that his paranormal troubles are far from over.
Nick. Whoa!
The knocking comes from behind him, yet no one is at the door. However, in the mirror stands a small hooded figure, or maybe it's just the top of Hype Mike's hat. When they check the camera, the picture becomes garbled by what I suspect is paranormal energy from the same ghost as before. It's found their new address and it wants in. At 8 minutes and 27 seconds, they catch a glimpse of someone running up the stairs. Then they see it in a different monitor right outside of their door before the screen goes white. And that's when what happens in Moosey's old house at 3 a.m. repeats itself. The door somehow locks even though they're on the side with a lock on it. So that's either paranormal or just an oversight in their skit, but I was kind of let down when they show it. I'm sorry, but I absolutely refuse to believe that this person in an all-black spandex outfit is a ghost. So I'm not exactly buying this one, but it doesn't mean that the videos in his old house weren't real, or that this wasn't a crazy fan who got their address. I've got a challenge for you. Since you're curious about me and uploaded on October, find out. Number 1. This video, uploaded on October 19th of 2018 by a YouTuber named McLeland, has gone viral across many different countdown channels. As many times as I've seen this video, none of them have ever given McLeland proper credit. These channels all insist this video is real, but McLeland is a super talented special effects artist who made this 3D model using a rubber duck of all things. When lightning strikes at 1 minute and 5 seconds, you can just barely make out the rubber duck shape against the sky. Other than that, there would be nothing to suggest that this was fake other than the title of the original posting, which literally calls it a Cthulhu rubber duck. I think McLeland used a rubber duck to demonstrate that anything can be made scary using special effects, even toys. So if you ever see a countdown channel saying that this video is real, know that you're getting inaccurate information for that entry. I just wanted to give credit where credit is due. Some giant creatures are all over the internet, while others are less frequently seen.
Let's look at the next video then, and it is Comedy Heaven on MK.
So excited for Season 3. Which show, Bill? Please respect my privacy, Chris. Yeah, Chris, back off. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to MK. My name is Robin, and today I'm going to be looking at some posts from r/Comedy Heaven. Now this one, I'm looking forward to. We're off to see the wizard. No, you're freaking not. Thaddeus moment. Choose a bottom caption. 126 things to do when you're feeling sad and blue. I don't understand. My doctor said if I don't get GF, I'll die. I'm not a liar. See? He's right. Doctor did say, get GF or die. Please enjoy. Oh, I am. Also, why is this in a liquor store? Satan also uses education. Many think they're too smart to accept this one truth. Daddy. What? Eye-opening. What each dollar of your income tax money pays for. Ooh, that's a lot of lasagna. I'm so bored. I went outside and knocked on my own door, then came back in and said, who is it? Oh, you're such a silly Willy. I like cheese. Finally, an appropriate topic of conversation for you and the guy next to you. Are there any foods that start with TH? I'm just wondering. Thoop and thothages. Sodium expectation. Sodium is bad and just makes you bloated. Sodium reality. Sodium is an essential mineral for your body. Also, I love how that dude looks like a Gmod character model got blown up with the tool gun. When Peach turns down Mario. Oh no, did not realize they serve shark fin soup. Read about how it causes imbalance in ecosystems and contributing to decline of reefs. Please tell owners you don't want shark fin soup on the menu. It's imitation shark fin made out of gelatin, you dense cabbage. Songs that specifically remind me of my dad's second divorce. That is really specific. Huh, what's the biggest planet on Earth? Jupiter's. Peeing with my boy Scott. Oh yeah, that's true broship right there. Oh man, I really hope people take a really detailed look at that when they're checking it. What's the name of my food? I want to eat them, but forgot how they were called and can't ask anyone since I'm alone. Shrimp? Oh yes! Oh my god, thanks! What? Why? I farted on your dad's balls. My dad is dead. Yeah, he died of ball fart. What? I think of Bitch Brian from Family Guy. Oh man, these are terrible. I made all 3 of these crotch blanket for the family. You wanna run that by me one more time? The Penis Monkey Creepypasta Part 3. I'll pass. I think I'm okay. Some men just want to watch the world burn. Me, I just want a garage with tall ceilings and a lift. The beast didn't stop pooping until a 100-foot wide poop-nado had fully engulfed the divers. A whale blasted an ungodly amount of ass ham all over some divers. God peed. That he did. That he did. How to make Hulk juice. My wife left me. Oh, that went from 100 to 0 real fast. Hey guys, can anybody... My wife left me.
Oh, 2 years. Could have been at different times.
Oh, that went from 100 to 0 real fast. Hey guys, can anybody recommend an electrician in the area? New Jersey's mystery high school pooper turns out to be school superintendent. We're all kids at heart. Also, it's high school. Anybody recommend an electrician in the area?
I don't get this one. Let me zoom in. United States of America. No. Hold on, is that actually America, or is that... Hold on, is that even America? Or is that like... No. United States of America, Mexico, Cuba.
New Jersey's mystery high school pooper turns out to be school superintendent. We're all kids at heart. Also, it's New Jersey. It's like northern Florida. What'd you expect? Did you just stand there while I fell over and dropped all the laundry? Yes, I watched it all unfold. According to her face, that joke landed real well. Hairstyle chart. The shorn calf, delicate beast, iron triangle, Dunphy's darkness, orb hunter, or my personal favorite, child. Ontario teacher's license suspended for 2 months after telling student to lick me where I fart. Most legendary teacher retort of all time. I bone my pit bull. Yeah, that paints an ugly picture. I found a light bulb in my bag of flour. I don't really know what to say about that, but it is a lot more than mildly interesting. Fastest boat, Steve. Steve is currently the world's fastest boat with a water speed record of an... Steve.
Alright, and let's actually search for this. Fastest boat. Nothing here. Let down.
Steve. Steve is currently the world's fastest boat with a water speed record of an eye-watering 317 miles per hour. Ready to choke on my gas? What the heck is this? And Zoe said, give me the Italian and no one gets hurt. Never, he said with a grin, for he is my new Uke-chan. Don't worry, my love, she called. Sneak, sneak. Oh no, I have been done captured, she cried. To be continued, no, no, no. Hi, I'm Dean, the perfect gentleman, warm and passionate, can we chat? No. Oh, jeez, man. Flying to the ding-dong appointment like, oh my god. Look at her go. I've lost 8 pounds since July. Image unrelated. Van Gogh painting. Probably not the original one. It doesn't really look like it. You're probably right about that, my friend. Meat without feet. Also known as most fish. Just a small-town girl. Living in a lonely world. Well, I know this is kind of weird and pushy, haha, but would you like to have sex with me? I'm not a creep or a pervert, just a genuine guy. I would treat you with respect and the sex would be good. I can even make you squirt if the connection is right, haha. I will not judge you or think you're easy. So yeah, excuse me if I come across as a little uncalibrated, but I think you're attractive. So what do you think? Smiley face, haha. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Poor loser, dude. Try not to laugh. Funny videos 2020 part 7. Oh my lord, that is the worst thumbnail I've seen in a long time. Hey, how old are you? 10. Seriously, how old are you? LOL. 10. 10's too young for me. LOL, I'm 21. Okay. Are you 18 or older? I'm 10. LMAO, I just want to know if you're 18 or older to see if you'd be down to chill sometime. I'm 10. Man, that's the creepiest form of denial. Teethers, $20. My wife keeps eating my Captain Crunch, so I'm selling her upper teeth. Don't feel sorry for her, she was warned. $20 her best offer, yeah. Please can I smell your butt? Please fart in my face. Please sit on my face. Bye, I am killing myself. Do not touch. Okay, what's going on? Frick. Look both ways for Ding Dong Man. Oh man, crossing the street's gonna get a lot scarier for me now. I hate the baby from Ice Age. Die. Wanted dead. Reward. What's that reward, man? Come on, give it to us. Peeing over truck. Yo, that's actually an impressive trajectory he's got going. Subway. I've been waiting here for hours, and still no train. Oh, you crazy old lady, you. My homie Big Slime fell through the stairs, man. Oh my gosh, at least he didn't actually fall through the stairs. He could have died. She was eating at the gym. Burn those calories as they come in, you know what I'm saying? I love God, my family, my president, and my country. I have high blood pressure. This one could blow at any moment. What is a suitable punishment for my 14-year-old daughter? She used my fabric scissors to cut tortilla wraps. Death. Jeez, Judy, dial it back a few notches. r/Tim, a subreddit for people named Tim. For all you Tims who grew up going by Timmy, how and when did you transition into Tim mode? Makes it sound like they're all Transformers. The best dang finger you've ever tasted. Huh, I doubt that. I think my Uber driver's in trouble. You good? Hi, on my way. I'm lost. How did this happen, Dinesh? My kids have attended this school for 3 years and we love it here. I found that the majority of teachers are excellent. My son was karate chopped in the throat by a Naruto wannabe. Hey man, come on now, maybe homeboy was stepping, you know what I'm saying? I had a dream where I straight up pushed a guy off the roof of a building on impulse and then quickly ran inside. It took a couple seconds of autopiloting before I realized that I just murdered someone and then started freaking out. I joined the crowd of people at the base of the building and they were all crying because they had no idea he was suicidal. And my heart just kept thumping out of my chest. It felt so freaking real. What does it mean? Mo, put an onion in your sock. And these targeted ads just know exactly how to push my buttons. This toilet is currently out of order. Please use the children's ball pit. Sure, the kids already do anyway. Also, Rondell McDonald's secret play space? Stay out of there, everyone. Linus Tech Tip says, computer. He's right, you know. Cops beat Chinese man after asking for his name. I've lost all faith in our police, says okay. How to mow the frick out of your lawn. That's making me slightly uncomfortable. Recite the alphabet. ABC, I'm not gonna do that. Where's the P? Oh, there it is. How to jump higher. Fast results. Ho, now I have to watch this. I gotta see where he's pretending this result's coming from. My favorite quote of all time. We. So prolific. Uncle, yeah. Uncle Yeah perfume, the attraction of love. Oh man, I can only imagine what that smells like. Probably Pabst Blue Ribbon and menthols. Mouse and rat glue pad. I'm stuck, please stay away. All right, will do. Did you know the boy you named as gay? He is a homosexual. Bro, you can't just be blowing my mind like that. Your username is how you die. How do you die? Well, ocean swimming thinks it's gonna be ocean swimming, so me at home. Ah, me at balls. You got me. Farting in the car by the fart guy. That one hurts. Oh my gosh, that's top tier content. I'm gonna subscribe. There's a cat in the gay bar. Yeah, what of it? Mind your own business. Damn, just remembered that my wife died. Cento pics maybe? Egg McMuffin Rat is the newest fast food rodent star in New York. Finally, I got bored of Andy Samberg years ago. Folks, this is not what they mean when they said dress appropriately for the occasion. Or is it? Best and worst rat of the week. Best, Chris. Settled in really well with his new cage mates. Always races to the door to say hello to people. Worst, Maurice. Just a real a-hole. God, Maurice, third week in a row, get it together. Cargo space? Carno do that. Carno fly.
I need the toilet again. Be right back. Swear to God, if I need the flipping toilet again, swear to God, I'll be really annoyed at myself. I'll be really annoyed.
With this invention, females can now urinate. Allows women to go to the bathroom. Dang, it's about time. They've been waiting for years to be able to do that. List of hair braids. Cornrows, crochet braids, lobster. This text conversation is related to a DoorDash order. DoorDash, bitches. Aw, cute ones though. What do you dream about when you're drifting off to sleep? Ghosts. We're reaching out to cup your balls. Someone thinks you might need some extra support right now and asked us to help. Oh, thank God, thank you so much. The Hunger Games scoring scene. One of the best parts in the movie. Katniss shooting arrow at Apple. I like men. Hey man, good for you. Shop newborn baby. Okay. Pure baby organic cotton peekaboo or old baby. Why? Type C for fast charging. C. You know, I'm pretty sure people that think like that are actually the smartest on Earth. Hey Andrew, your order's been picked up from Chipotle and your dasher is on the way. I'm so hungry. I went there and asked for tacos since it's a taco place, but they said they don't sell tacos and so I left. This is the worst taco place ever. Does that say girls high school? What kind of tacos were you ordering, my friend? A posting for a 2004 Chrysler Crossfire. Good start. Is this still available? Yeah, it is. Okay. Are you interested? No. And that is unfortunately all we've got for you today, folks. Always remember, if you even somewhat enjoyed this video, drop a like down below. And if you really enjoyed the video, hit...
Whatever. You're next.
One of our favourite topics is mythical sea creatures and the tall tales that surround their believed existence. We have already covered the more well-known ones over the years, such as Kraken, sirens, and the Loch Ness Monster. However, our oceans and waterways are home to some lesser-known creatures that have slithered their way into our imaginations throughout history. In this video, we look at 5 fascinating mythical sea monsters, one of which may not be so mythical. And no, it's not the Megalodon. We've already talked about that before. Now before we get in, don't forget, if you want more content, you can either subscribe at Facebook one translates Billabong the Bunyip. The Bunyip is a legendary monster in Australian Aboriginal folklore. The beast is said to inhabit the reedy swamps, billabongs, creeks and riverbeds of Australia. The word Bunyip translates to devil or evil spirit. However, its name and description vary according to tribal diction. And in a 2001 book written by Robert Holden, he identified at least 9 regional variations of the creature. But it wasn't just the Aboriginal people who had stories of bunyips. European settlers in the early and mid-19th century also recorded accounts of the mythical creature, mainly in southeastern colonies of Victoria, New South Wales and South Australia. So what is the bunyip? While the most common description is it resembles a seal or swimming dog between 4 and 6 feet long, with a shaggy black or brown coat, a round head resembling a bulldog, prominent ears, no tail and whiskers like a seal or otter. Others describe it as a long-necked creature with a small head between 5 and 15 feet long, with black or brown fur, large eyes, short tusks, with a head like a horse or an emu. The first written description of the amphibious creature came in 1845, when it was described as having a round head, an elongated neck, and a body resembling that of an ox, hippopotamus, or manatee, with smooth skin and orange eyes. It has even been suggested that the bunyip is the prehistoric marsupial Diprotrodon australis, which was supposed to have gone extinct 46,000 years ago. Aborigines have differing opinions on the bunyip's motives, and while many believe it's a bloodthirsty murderer with supernatural powers that can alter the water level, cripple victims with its roar, and hypnotize humans to act as its slave, others believe the bunyip is a punisher sent to Earth to protect wildlife and bring justice to anyone who commits evil acts. In reality, no one really knows what the creature looks like, or whether it actually exists, but that hasn't stopped people giving vivid stories of their encounters with the monster. In 1851, a newspaper called the Australasian published a report about a bunyip being spared after killing an Aboriginal man. The monster was described as 11 paces long and 4 paces wide. Fossils have also been uncovered that have been associated with the bunyip. In January of 1846, a skull was found in the Murrumbidgee River near Balranald. It was placed in the Australian Museum in Sydney and labelled as a bunyip skull. Visitors flocked to see it, and it provoked a wave of people speaking out about their bunyip sightings. However, it was later proved to be the skull of a disfigured calf. But probably the most detailed account was in 1845, when Geelong Advertiser reported the story of an Aboriginal woman being killed by a bunyip, and a man named Mum Boran suffering several deep wounds on his breast, made by the claws of the creature. The account provided this description. The bunyip is represented as uniting the characteristics of a bird and of an alligator. It has a head resembling an emu, with a long bill at the extremity, of which is a transverse projection on each side, with serrated edges like the bone of the stingray. Its body and legs partake of the nature of the alligator. The hind legs are remarkably thick and strong, and the forelegs are much longer, but still of great strength. The extremities are furnished with long claws, and its usual method of killing its prey is by hugging it to death. When in the water, it swims like a frog, and when on the shore, it walks on its hind legs with its head erect, in which position it measures 12 or 13 feet in height. If we are honest, there are so many different descriptions of the bunyip that it's hard to believe sightings of it are anything other than wild imaginations or mistaken identity of unknown creatures. Although it seems the bunyip myth has been very much kept alive over the years, and has appeared in various forms in books, games and films. The most recent being in 2019, when the Bunyip is amongst the Titans, monitored by Monarch, in the film Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
First time I've heard of this.
The Yakumama. Out of all the creatures featured in this list, the Yakumama is the most likely to actually exist. Yakumama means mother of water, and refers to an enormous serpent believed to live in the Peruvian Amazon rainforest. The Yakumama is described by the indigenous peoples as being a huge snake that grows up to 50 feet or 15 meters in length, with a head 6 feet wide, or 2 meters, that catches its prey by spitting out and flooring it like a water cannon. The Yakumama's enormous body is capable of felling trees in its path, and changing the course of the tributaries of small rivers when crossed. According to legend, the Yakumama will suck up any living thing that passes within 100 steps of it. So, to protect themselves, before stepping into the water, the locals blow on a conch horn in the hope that the Yakumama will reveal itself before they enter. However, what is believed they have witnessed is either a giant anaconda or a giant Sicilian, a limbless, serpentine amphibian that lives hidden in the ground or bodies of water. A similar monster known as the Minhocao or the Sachamama features in Brazilian folklore. It is also described as a large fish or worm measuring 20 to 50 meters, and they tell a similar tale of the creature altering the earth as it passes through. It's believed that these three creatures are one and the same and are all the species of an unknown giant reptile. This theory was backed up in 1906 when the famous explorer Percy H. Fawcett claimed to have ground a giant anaconda while travelling through the Amazon River. He allegedly shot the creature dead. This is his account of what happened. I walked ashore and approached the reptile with caution. I was immobile, but shivers kept running up and down the body like puffs of wind on a hill mountain. As was be measured, length 14 meters out of the water and lay 5 meters at her, making a total length of 19 meters. So large specimens as this may not be common, but the trails in the swamps reach a width of 2 meters and support the statements of Indians and rubber pickers that the anaconda sometimes reaches an incredible size, completely eclipsing the shot for me. Brazilian Borders Commission told me of one killed in the Paraguay River more than 24 meters long. However, many were still not convinced, and 100 years later, in 2009, two brothers Mike and Greg Warner mounted an expedition into the jungle of the Peruvian Amazon to look for evidence of the monstrous snake. The expedition was inconclusive, although they did record trails of what they believed were giant snakes. They also took testimonies of natives who claimed to have seen the Yakumama. They all described the same thing, an enormous snake that takes water with it. Although the first expedition could not find the elusive Yakumama, the brothers were undeterred and mounted another expedition. During the second expedition, they succeeded in finding and photographing areas where Yakumama allegedly lives, and filming their trenches, some that were almost 2 meters wide. Over the years, some sightings have included descriptions of a Yakumama snake with horns sprouting from its head. This peculiar feature has led some to believe that Yakumama could be a prehistoric version of a Sicilian. Most of the roughly 50 species of Sicilians have a groove along both sides of the head, containing retractable tentacles. One thing is for sure, all the sightings of these giant snakes have similar descriptions, and the Warner brothers believe that the snakes that the Brazilians call the Sachamama are the same as the Peruvian Yakumama snakes. Snakes that have grown so large that they have become virtually immobile and have adopted to a different way of catching their prey. So it's entirely possible that Yakumama, Sachamama, and the Minhocao are either a giant anaconda or an unknown giant species of Sicilian. What do you think?
Boring, that's what I think.
The Ogopogo. You have probably all heard of the Loch Ness Monster, the huge serpent creature that supposedly lurks in the depths of the Loch Ness in Scotland, UK. We've talked about it multiple times. While Canada has its own version of Nessie, known as the Ogopogo, that lives in the depths of the Okanagan Lake near the city of Kelowna in British Columbia. The Ogopogo has been described as a multi-humped serpentine beast, with green or black skin and a head of a horse, snake or sheep. And similar to the towns and villages around Loch Ness, the area takes pride in the legend of Ogopogo, and can be found in various guises in the souvenir shops around Kelowna. Ogopogo mania peaked in the 1980s when the region's tourism association offered a $1 million reward for proof of the creature's existence. Over the years, there have been various sightings of the creature, many making the local headlines, with witnesses all describing a similar thing, saying they spotted the creature meandering through the 84-mile-long lake, creating huge, undulating waves as it moved. In fact, Ogopogo is so accepted in Canadian culture that 16% of British Columbians believe it exists. However, the Okanagan Valley's indigenous believe the Ogopogo was not a physical creature, but a spirit that protects the lake and the surrounding area, and they call it Ohaha Etku, which means the sacred spirit of the lake, and originally it existed in two forms, a spiritual form and a physical. Sometimes the spirit would reveal its physical self from within the lake. The Nhaha Etku was described as very dark in colour, with the head of a horse and the antlers of a deer. But when settlers arrived, this tale was misinterpreted, and they were soon telling stories of a serpent in Okanagan Lake that needed a live animal sacrifice to appease it and ensure a safe passage across the water. The idea of a bloodthirsty lake serpent took hold and grew out of control, and settlers began patrolling the lake with guns, convinced the monster was going to attack. This is when the Nhaha Etku transformed from a revered spirit into a monster known as Ogopogo, and as time went on, stories grew, and soon everyone was seeing the killer creature in the lake. Today, Ogopogo is intrinsically linked with Kelowna, and similar to Nessie, the legend is as popular as ever. Understandably, the locals are hesitant to want to disprove its existence, as it's good for tourism and has become a Canadian cultural icon. Cetus. In ancient Greek, Cetus is a sea monster who was visualized as an enormous coiling sea serpent with a gaping jaw, the feet of a land animal attached to a solid scaly body. One of the stories behind the monster is mentioned in the story of Perseus, a Greek hero and slayer of monsters, before the days of Hercules. It all happened when Queen of Ethiopia boasted that her daughter, Andromeda, was more beautiful than the nymphs. The god of the sea, Poseidon, was furious at this claim and sent a sea monster named Cetus to destroy the shores of the region. The queen was frightened, and her husband asked the advice of an oracle who told them that they should sacrifice their daughter to the monster in order to appease the god. The royal couple agreed and had their daughter chained to a rock next to the sea. As Andromeda screamed and watched helplessly as the monster approached her, Perseus happened to pass by and swooped down like an eagle onto the creature's back, diving his diamond-hard sword deep into its right shoulder. Anguished and enraged, the wounded monster reared up on its coils and turned around, snapping relentlessly at its attacker. Repeatedly, Perseus plunged his sword into the beast through its ribs, its back, and at the root of its tail. Blood poured from the wounded creature before it finally collapsed. Its corpse was hauled to shore by the appreciative locals who skinned the beast and put its bones on display. Since then, the monster of the sea is represented by the constellation Cetus. Cetus is the fourth largest constellation, although none of its stars are particularly bright. The most celebrated star in the constellation is Mira, a Latin name meaning the amazing one, on account of its variability in brightness. At times, Myria is the only star that can be seen with the naked eye. So to see this monster, you do not look into the water anymore, you look towards the sky, preferably with a telescope if you want to see its full form. Although of course, it looks more like a child's drawing than a ferocious monster described in the story. The Kappa. In the waters of Japan, there lurks a creature that is as mysterious as it's terrifying.
Oh, typical
It's known as the
Japan.
Kappa. This strange creature is said to hold magical powers that can be used for both good and evil, and despite many refusing to believe in the existence of the Kappa, there are still sightings today, especially in the countryside of Japan. In fact, locals still hang warning signs near bodies of water thought to be frequented by the Kappa. So what is it? This strange creature is said to have the appearance of both a humanoid and reptile, and is incredibly cunning. Kappas have over 80 different names, though the most common are Kawapa and Kawaso. According to legend, the Kappa is fond of playing pranks and causing trouble and even harm towards humans. Their pranks can vary from harmless jokes like making noises similar to flatulence, or looking up a woman's kimono, to more violent acts like trying to drown livestock, kidnapping and eating children, or forcing themselves upon women. Although Kappa are generally considered a force to be feared, there are some instances in which the Kappa are thought to be generous, though this mostly happens when a Kappa is indebted to a human. Some of the earliest accounts of this are from early Japanese legends that credit the Kappa with teaching them knowledge of bone setting and medical remedies. Descriptions of Kappa vary from region to region, but most of the details are similar. Kappa are said to be about the size of a small child up to 5 feet tall with small frames. In fact, the word Kappa actually translates loosely to water child.
Whoa, hold on. As a small child, 5 foot, I'm 5'7". So like, what the hell? Work that out. A small child in Japan is 5 foot. Are you actually kidding me? How tall are Japanese people? Like, what the hell? Up to 5 foot? I don't believe that.
Their hands and feet are webbed, and they have amazing swimming abilities. They have scaly skin, similar to that of a reptile, that comes in colours of yellow, green and blue. They are said to have a humanoid figure with the shell of a tortoise on their back, and long shaggy hair on their head, usually shaped in a bowl cut. They also have a beak for a mouth, though this doesn't seem to interfere with their ability to speak in human languages. All Kappas have a small bowl-like dent on top of their heads that holds a small pool of water called the Sara. This water is thought to be the source of the Kappa's magical powers. A Kappa must keep their Sara full whenever they venture onto land or fortify all their strength and magical powers. Without this water, a Kappa will die. However, it's thought that if you refill the Sara on a Kappa's head, they will be eternally grateful and will help you with whatever you will require for the rest of your life. According to legend, Kappas are obsessed with an object called Shirigodama, a mysterious jewel thought to contain a person's life force that is located in the human bottom, and is thought that the majority of violent attacks by Kappa are made to obtain this. However, despite their evil ways, Kappa are obsessed with politeness and human tradition, and this is considered to be its biggest weakness. Many who tell of a Kappa encounter in which they escaped claim that they were able to do so because they made the Kappa spill the water in its Sara when they bowed. However, in some places, the cunning Kappa have caught onto this practice and use a metal plate to protect their Sara when they come ashore. There are also several accounts of people being able to ward off Kappa by carrying iron, sesame or ginger. Now all this sounds far-fetched, of course, and it's believed the legend of the Kappa is simply a story for children to scare them from venturing too closely to the water without their parents. However, there are those that believe the Kappa could be a type of alien creature that somehow found its way to Earth, and that they also inhabit the oceans of the world. These strange sea aliens are able to travel to and from Earth through portals, which may explain why we've never been able to prove their existence. Of course, most of this is fun and games, but what do you think? The most plausible theory is that the Kappa is in fact a Japanese giant salamander. These salamanders grow to be about 5 feet in length and have skin tones similar to that of the Kappa. They are also known for grabbing their prey with their strong jaws and pulling them into the water. Coincidentally, Japanese giant salamanders are also known to inhabit the rivers, lakes and ponds, where sightings of Kappas have been reported. What's your thoughts? So, that's 5 fascinating mythical sea monsters. We'd love to hear your thoughts on these 5.
Fake. I don't care about them all, you know. I forgot I was subscribed to this channel. Literally, a few years ago, Venos Gaming made a joke, being like, imagine if there was a YouTube channel called There's the Toilet. And ever since then, someone has actually done it.
Hey guys, so before the video starts, I just wanted to quickly say that I've been more active over on my second or more main channel now. I'm really enjoying uploading there. In fact, I just uploaded and it's linked in the description. I've got a big announcement at the very end of the video, so if you guys want to go and watch that and watch to the end, I'd be much appreciative of it. And make sure you subscribe.
Okay, it's not normally like that. It's normally the channel is I'll show you like this.
Welcome to youtube.com/where the fuck the toilet's at. And this is going over here, boom, there's the toilet. Subscribe for more tips.
Not just one game, multiple, like this one.
Welcome to youtube.com/where the fuck the toilet's at. And this is going over here, boom, there's the toilet.
Normally that without the bucket.
Yeah, right there.
Where's the bucket?
Oh my god. Subscribe for more tips.
So yeah. Where are you?
Subscribe, like the video, all that stuff, and check out some of the other stuff on there. Thank you all so much for the support, and I'll see you all. Bye.
Welcome to youtube.com/where the fuck the toilet's at. And this is going over here, boom, there's the toilet. Subscribe for more tips.
The intro is longer than the actual bloody video. Good God. But yeah, by the looks of it, that's gonna be it for me. So, oh Jesus Christ. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this live stream. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to hit the bell icon so you guys get notified on when I upload a live stream. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next live stream. Bye.